Thank you for joining yoga today. And why don't we just start by me just ringing the bell 3 times, the mindfulness bell. So just allowing ourselves to come into our own space from outward busyness into more inner stillness. So just following the sound as best as you can to begin our practice. Taking this time in the beginning in particular just to really invite yourself into your own body, from the head space into the heart space right in the center of your chest in this case. And maybe you can even touch into your heart space just by placing one hand there and just really making that connection with your body. It's often helpful to just help you come more out of the mind and into the body just by touching into the heart. And you might even connect here to the sensations of breathing in and out of the heart. Feeling the hand lift with the in-breaths. And gently fall back down with the out-breaths. And perhaps setting an intention for practice this afternoon to just be with whatever arises during your practice, be it physical or emotional or mental, just to include it all with a loving attention, making this a true mindful yoga practice for yourselves. And you can let your hand rest again down if you had placed it on the heart. Maybe connecting a bit more fully now with the heart, just by simply feeling the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor, through the yoga mat, into the earth. Allowing yourselves to sit in a way that is both gives a sense of alertness and a sense of relaxation. So perhaps sitting up a little bit taller through the spine, through the crown of the head that can lift up towards the ceiling, towards the sky for the alertness part. And then from here, as if you were pulled up by a string through the crown of your head, lifting you taller. From there, you can just sort of suspend your body down, relaxing the skin, relaxing the bones in the body, relaxing into the heaviness of the body as you're sitting here. Maybe softening a bit more through the eyes and facial muscles, loosening the jaw. Maybe turning the corners of the mouth a little bit upwards into a half smile, which is always a nice message to the nervous system that it can relax or be more in a space of relaxation. Feeling the torso, front and back. As you release any tension or tightness from the chest that you might perceive, from the shoulders and back. Softness in the belly and through the lower back. And also, as best as you can, relaxing down the arms from the upper arms into the lower arms, all the way into the hands. Coming down into the hips, feeling the heaviness of the hips really rooting you down through the yoga mat into the earth. Feeling the connection of the buttocks with the seat below you. Relaxing the legs all the way into the feet, the whole body more in a space of relaxation, and also your mind being present to the body. And really inviting the mind to let yourself be embodied throughout the practice as best as you can. So, as best as you can, letting go of thoughts and just having this gentle and loving presentness with whatever is in the body that arises through the practice this afternoon. So we'll just begin the practice this afternoon coming into the movement by gently swaying the arms from side to side, coming into a gentle twist. If you want to, you can even trace the hands on the ground from side to side, just a gentle opening into the spinal area. If you want to bring one hand to the heart and let the other arm come all the way into the back, just letting your gaze follow towards the fingertips that are stretching in back. So just see what feels right to come into a gentle twist to begin practice this afternoon. Moving at your own pace, perhaps if you're sleepy, moving a little bit faster. If you're feeling tight and tense and stressed, maybe just really drawing in slower and deeper breath and letting the movement be guided by the breath. And so however your body wants to twist from side to side, however the arms want to move, just allow that to be expressed in your body for these next few twistings from side to side. And then let yourself gently come back to center, resting your hands on your knees or your thighs, whatever feels good. Such a beautiful opportunity to simply listen to the body in each moment through the practice, like you've done for years. So we'll bring the palms facing up, sort of at the height of our belly for the next opening flow. And then on an in-breath, we're just going to lift the hands up to the level of the heart. And as you exhale, turn the palms to face up and then really stretch the hands up so that there is no more so just bringing the elbow to really be straight so that there's no more bend in the elbows, gazing up beyond the fingertips. And then as you inhale, come back to the level of the chest, turn your palms to face up again, and then release down again towards the belly. Inhaling up to the heart, exhale, palms turn upwards, straightening the arms, gazing up, and then inhaling back to the heart, exhale, palms turn up, releasing back to the belly. So just come into your own flow in this way. Again, just moving at the pace that feels comfortable to you, just to really allow the body to warm up and to follow this gentle stretch in and out. If for some reason your legs are not comfortable, you can even have them stretched out. If you're sitting on a cushion, you're still fully supported. Whatever serves your body right. And just a few more rounds, really bringing your attention into the hands, into your arms, just following the movement with your breath. Last one. And then all the way back down. We're going to have the forearms stretched out in front of us with the palms facing up. And then with your left hand, you're going to make a fist, but have the thumb up. And then we're going to draw that left elbow back and stretch that right hand forward to get a really nice stretch through your right wrist. So the left elbow back, right hand stretches forward. You should feel a really nice stretch in your wrist. And then inhaling back to the starting position, palms up. And we'll repeat in the same way on the other side, really feeling that stretch in your left wrist now as you draw your right elbow back. And then we'll just continue flowing in this way from side to side. The movement informed by the breath. And just one more on each side, moving at your own pace. And then just back to center. You can let your legs come out in front of you and just taking a moment to shake out your legs. So just bringing the soles of the feet together from here, kind of into a butterfly position, and just let yourself experiment. If you want to have the feet a little bit more away from the body so you can really relax the knees more out to the side, or if you want to draw the heels all the way in, just see how stretchy you are today. And then let yourself just hold on either to the ankles, or if your feet are all the way drawn in, you might be able to wrap your hands around the front of the feet. Wherever you are, just take a nice deep in-breath from here. And then gently lean your whole body slowly over to the right. So your left buttock will come a little bit off your cushion or mat, but not so much that you're going to fall out of the pose. So just let yourself go enough so you can get a gentle stretch through the left side. If for some reason that feels too unbalanced in your body, you can bring your right hand out to the side, onto the ground, and lift your left arm up, and then just drawing the left fingertips over to the right. Just see what feels best to you. You might experiment with both. And just drawing some deep and slow breaths up and down the left side of the body. Relaxing the facial muscles, the jaw. Inhaling back to center, just briefly lifting both arms up overhead, bringing the palms to touch, and then very gently lower your hands back down through the midline. We're going to place the hands back to wrap them around the front of the feet or by the ankles, and then take a nice deep in-breath here, really lifting the heart, drawing the shoulders back as best as you can, and then slowly lean over to the left, allowing your right buttock to come off the ground a bit, relaxing your left ear over the left shoulder. And again, if this feels not quite steady or stable enough, you can simply place your left hand to the outside on the ground and then reach your right arm up, lifting the heart center as you stretch your right fingertips over to the left. And then really here, breathing with the intention to allow the knees to soften out to either side a bit more. So stretching both the side body here and the hips at the same time. Each in-breath, you might visualize your heart center lifting just a little bit more. And as you exhale, softening into your side stretch. And then inhaling back to center, the arms reach up overhead. And then slowly bringing the hands back down to the heart center. I'm just going to stretch the legs out in front. If you have a cushion beneath you, you might want to just put that away now. And just having your hands maybe on fingertips, placing them behind your buttocks in the space behind you. So really opening the heart center here, straightening the spine, just breathing up and down the spine in this way for a few rounds. Feeling the solidity of your posture, of your legs grounding down through the earth, maybe pressing the backs of the thighs down into the mat. And then we're going to breathe our arms up overhead on an in-breath. And then exhale, let yourself slowly come down onto your back as best as you can, engaging your belly muscles. All the way slowly back down, relaxing the hands onto the ground. And then pressing lightly into your hands on an in-breath, slowly come back up, reaching your arms back up overhead. And then exhale, slowly come down again onto the mat in very slow motion or as slowly as you can. I'm going to rest your hands briefly on the ground on an in-breath. Gently press into your lower arm and hands. Bring yourself back up. Inhaling up. And then exhale just one more time, relaxing onto your back as you slowly come down. Pressing down into the lower arms on an in-breath. Lift yourself back up. Arms overhead. Really stretch your shoulders back. And then as you exhale, slowly come into a forward fold. Leading with the heart center, letting your hands rest either side of the lower legs or the knees. Maybe holding on to the toes to get a deeper stretch, whatever feels right. Relaxing into this forward fold now, which is always such a beautiful opportunity to really bring your gaze inwards into your own heart, into your own body, into the stillness of your own body. Some deep and slow breaths up and down the spine. It's kind of like an elevator lifting all the way up through the spine on the in-breath. And then moving all the way back down on the out-breath. Just a couple more breaths here. Each out-breath is a new opportunity just to relax the heart down more towards the thighs. Really relax. And then on the next in-breath, reach your arms up overhead one more time. And exhale the hands back to the heart center through the midline. So just relax your hands by the sides. You can then take your right foot and bring the foot to the outside of the left knee. And come into a seated twist. So then you can bend the left knee and bring the heel in towards the body. If that doesn't feel right, you can just let your legs stay stretched out in front. But what we're all going to do is place our hands in front of the right knee and really take this moment again to straighten the spine, first of all. On an in-breath, lift your right arm up, just holding onto the knee with your left hand. And then exhale, bring your right hand all the way in back of you. And then just place the fingertips or palm down right in the center behind your buttock. Take one more deep in-breath with the chest still in front. Lift your left arm up now. And then hook the upper left arm to the outside of the right knee. Take one more deep in-breath here. And then as you exhale, slowly let your head turn over your right shoulder, gazing in back of you. You can close your eyes here, deepening into your twist. And just connecting with that elevator movement of the spine again, breathing the spine tall on the in-breath. And breathing and relaxing all the air out and down on the out-breath. And really, if you can, drawing in ever deeper and slower in-breaths and long and relaxing out-breaths. Perhaps remembering that half smile on the lips, not being too serious in your practice, but just a sense of lighthearted, a light touch that you can add to your practice. Just a sense of contentment, of being able to move the body for this hour in your own way. And then exhale, slowly bring the torso back forward. For a moment, or actually rather, have your feet firmly on the ground in front of the knees. So both feet down. Before we go to the other side, we'll do a different stretch for a moment. So we're going to place our hands behind the buttocks again, just maybe an inch behind, with the fingertips facing forward towards the feet. And then really take a moment here to press down into the hands, to press down into your feet. We're going to come into a reverse table posture from here. So as you press down into your feet and hands, on the next exhale, gently lift your buttocks and your hips off the ground. Make sure that your knees are aligned over the ankles. And then you can have your head facing forward or relaxing it down. Most important here is to keep pressing into the feet, to keep pressing into the hands, and then just resting your head and neck in a way that feels right. So we'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then very gently and with control, bring your buttocks back to the earth. If you want to, you can just fold your legs for a moment and just let your body fold forward to come into a resting posture after this more intense stretch. Resting your head all the way down, allowing your forearms to rest on your mat. And just breathing the full length of the body. Feeling and connecting with the spaciousness in the body through your breathing. And then very gently walk your fingertips back in towards the body, lifting your torso back up. We're going to stretch the legs out in front. And then this time bending into the left knee and then bringing the left foot to the outside of the right knee. We're going to lace our hands in front of the knee. And then on an in-breath, please stretch your left arm up. Or I forgot, if you want to bend into the front knee to bring the heel in closer, if you did that on the other side, that would be good. And then from here, lift your left arm up on the in-breath. As you exhale, place your fingertips right behind your buttocks in the back. Breathing your right arm up as the chest faces forward still. And then exhale, hook the upper right arm to the outside of your left knee. Breathing the spine tall one more time. And then exhale, let your head turn over to the space behind you on your left side. Gazing beyond your left shoulder. The eyes can be closed as you come into this twist. And again, breathing the spine tall on the in-breath, lifting the chest. And as you exhale, perhaps drawing the belly button all the way in towards the spine to wring out any tension, any tightness. And just again and again, flowing from in-breath to out-breath in this way. One more deep in-breath here. And then as you exhale, let your torso come back to the center. We're going to keep our right leg just as it is, and then bend into the left knee, and then hook the left knee so that it's placed, or the upper leg rather, so that it's sort of resting to the sole of your right foot. So we're going to have our hands in front. Our torso is facing forward. And then very slowly begin to walk your fingers over to the right side as much as you can, coming into a deeper twist here. So wherever you can place your lower arms onto the ground still beside your mat, that's probably as far as you want to go, so that your forearms can just relax and your elbows relax down onto the earth. So if you can't do that, you've probably gone too far and you want to come a little bit more out of the twist. So we're not overstretching. But with each inhale here in the beginning couple of breaths, just lifting your heart center a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, just twisting over to the right side a little bit more through the spine. And just maybe doing that 3 times before you just rest and settle into your twist. Just taking a few more deeper breaths into the twist, bringing out any toxins from the spine. And just relaxing the head all the way down. As you're ready, you can bring the forearms off the ground. We're going to let the right arm stay out to the side, away from the mat. Stretch your left out on the outside of your mat so that the sole of the foot is placed down into the earth. The toes are facing forward. And then we're going to lift our hips and our legs off the ground, stretch our left arm up, and then really open the heart center here. If that doesn't feel good, you can have the left arm over to the right. Just experiment if you want to make this more of a heart opener and a back bend or another side stretch. Just feeling into the body. There you go. Deep breaths from the belly all the way into the chest on the in-breaths, and just relaxing more as you breathe out again. Even in these more challenging stretches, it's still an opportunity to relax, settle into the space, into the shape that you're creating with your body. One more deep in-breath. And then exhale, very gingerly come out of the pose. We're going to position our legs basically the opposite way. So the sole of the left foot resting to the inside of your right thigh in front. Yep, got it. So just watching Yeah, behind that leg behind. Very good. And then just begin here maybe by resting the fingertips to the side, feeling the heart center lifted for a moment. And then as you're ready, you can bring both fingertips over to the left side and then walk your hands a bit more behind you. We're preparing for a deeper twist. So again, going as far as you can still bring your forearms down into the ground. And then relaxing your head as you deepen into your twist. For the first 3 rounds of breath, you might practice lifting your chest a little bit, pressing into the lower arms, lifting yourself taller on the in-breath. And then as you exhale, deepen the twist, really wringing out the lower spine as you breathe out. And just relaxing into the twist, letting the body do its own work. All you're doing now is following the breath in and out. Two more rounds of breath here. And very gently lift your torso. Let your legs stay the same for a moment. You're going to bring the left hand to the outside, away from the mat. And then stretch your right leg out on the other side with the sole of the foot all the way down, toes facing forward. We're going to press into the left hand to lift the legs, to lift the torso, stretch the right arm up overhead, really opening the heart center as you keep pressing into your left hand. If you came into the side stretch on the other hand, on the other side, stretching your right fingertips over to the left, that's also good. Just see what works best for you. Breathing deeply up from the belly all the way into the heart. And then as you breathe out, just lowering the breath all the way down. Lengthening the breath with each inhale and exhale. And then slowly release all the way back down. And just taking a moment just to feel the effects of the stretch in the body. Noticing any sensations, any tingling, any vibrating, any pressure. Quality of the breath in this moment. So important to always take a moment just to take in the effects of any given stretch and not right away moving into another stretch already. So however you want to move onto your hands and knees from here. I'm going to come into a tabletop posture. And just taking a moment to set yourself up as you always do, with the palms right under the shoulders and the knees right over the hips. And we'll flow through a few rounds of cat and cow just to open the spine a little bit more for these next practices. As you come into your cat stretch, really pressing the belly button in towards the lower spine, rounding the back. And then as you come into cow pose, really lifting your heart center, lifting your chin, drawing the shoulders back. So really emphasizing that. And for that, you might want to go a little bit slower today. Letting the breath slow down with the movement. Just taking a few more rounds, taking your time to go from cat to cow and from cow to cat. And if you would like to add a little bit of a movement here, the next time you come into a cow pose and your heart center is lifted, curl your toes under and back, and as you exhale, lift yourself into a downward facing dog, drawing the heart center down, drawing the heels down. Inhaling, coming back to your table pose, uncurling the toes, and then exhale, round your spine like in a cat stretch, and then release all the way down into a child pose. Inhaling back to table, curling the toes under. As you exhale, come into your downward dog. Inhaling back to table pose, uncurling the toes, and then rounding your spine as you release down into your child pose. So we're just going to do this way a few more rounds at your own time, in your own pace. Feeling the whole body stretching out in this particular flow. Maybe with a sense of ease, a sense of joy, of being able to move the body in this very gentle way. Flowing at your own pace. And just wherever you are, one more round. And we're all going to meet in child pose. Let your arms stretch forward so that there's no bend at the elbows, and just allow your head to connect down into the earth. You want to have your feet wider towards the edge of the mat. That's fine as well. You can get a little extra stretch through the hips. And then when you're ready, you can just lift your torso slightly and then move the arms and the torso over towards the left as best as you can, coming into a deeper side stretch here. So you can really move your right hand forward as far as you can, pressing the left hand down and really opening that right side body for you as you deepen into the stretch, sending your breath into the right side. And then all the way back to center with your torso and the arms. We're going to come all the way over to the left side, to the right side rather. And as best as you can, stretching out your left hand, moving the fingertips a little bit more forward, pressing into your right palm and really deepening into the side stretch in your left side now. Slowly walking your hands back to center. We're going to come down onto our belly, but have the forearms out in front of us, coming into a Sphinx pose. So the forearms are on the ground and the elbows are aligned right under the shoulders. The feet are stretched out on the ground behind, so the tops of the feet will relax down into your mat and back. And then for swings, really see if you can press down into your lower arms so that your heart center can lift. Your chin can even lift if that's comfortable, maybe drawing the eyesight up towards the ceiling, getting a little eye stretch, squeezing the inner butt halves together at the same time, keeping your eyes relaxed and just breathing into the Sphinx. Feeling the openness in the chest. And for a few breaths, we're just going to turn your head over the right shoulder, staying in twist, in swings, adding a little twist. And just noticing the quality of the breath as you add a twist. Slowly bringing the head back to center and very mindfully having the head turn in the opposite direction now. Just a couple more breaths. And then as you come back to center, you can lower your forehead all the way on the ground. Bring your arms beside your body, close to the hips with the palms facing down. Relaxing the shoulders down. So just connecting with the forehead and the whole front of the body, resting on the earth now. And then we're going to move our arms so that they come overhead, in front of the head, no bend in the elbow. You can be on fingertips or have the palms of the hands in the ground. The elbows are off the ground. And so then just begin to raise your right leg off the ground, raise your left arm off the ground. And then the last step is to also lift the chest and the head off the ground. So we're coming into an alternate arm and leg stretch, pressing firmly into the right hand, keeping the right arm off the ground except for the hand, relaxing through the head and eyes. On an in-breath, you might imagine that you're breathing all the way into the left fingertips. And on the out-breath, all the way down into your right toes. Three more breaths here. Last in-breath. And then relax. You bring your arms out into cactus arms from here. Let yourself rest onto your left ear so your head is turning right. And then we're going to bring our right knee out to the side, bending into the knee, bending into the leg, and bringing it all the way out so we can come into a half frog pose from here. Relaxing deeply through the hips, the right hip in particular. And just feeling this resting gesture as you're lying on the earth in this way, relaxing through the shoulders, through the hip, the eyes and the facial muscles, really letting go through the right hip. And when you're ready, you can stretch your right leg back out on the mat. We're going to stretch our arms overhead again so that the palms of the hands are resting in the earth. There's no bend at the elbow. Feeling that whole body stretch on the ground. And this time when you're ready, please lift your left leg off the ground, all the way off the mat as best as you can, so you feel a nice tightness through the left butt. And then when you're ready, lift your right arm off the ground. Press a little bit into the palm of your left hand so that you can stretch your chest off the ground as well. Deep and full and long breaths here into this opposite arm and leg stretch. Just three more breaths.
And then just relax the forehead into the earth. Bring your arms out into cactus arms. So the forearms are down into the earth. As you bend into your left knee, and then bring the leg out to the side, closer in toward the hips as best as you can. And just let yourself rest on your right ear so the head is facing to the left. Just letting the breath guide you into a gentle hip opener now on the left side. It's like you're breathing heart to heart with the earth in this position. Letting your nervous system be soothed by this movement of the heart with the earth. Two more breaths. And very gently guide your left leg back in so both legs are stretched out. We're going to bring our head back to center and then place your hand right under the shoulders and then just bring them a hand length ahead of you, away from the body. Bring your hands to the outside of the mat. And then as you press into the hands, lift your torso all the way up. Coming into a cobra pose, let your elbows straighten. Allow your shoulder blades to really move into the back of you as if you're squeezing an orange in between your shoulder blades. Let your heart center lift as best as you can. Keep relaxing your shoulders and just noticing what the breath feels like here in this deep heart opening stretch. We'll be here for a few breaths, so see how you can best soften the body even in a more intense and challenging stretch. Perhaps by relaxing the eyes and facial muscles. Just about 5 more breaths, if you can stay with it. Exhale, release yourself all the way back down. We're going to bring our hands under the shoulders, lift the body up, and then come into a child pose from here. This time maybe having the arms resting alongside the legs with the palms facing up. And then really rounding the spine and allowing the forehead to release down into the earth. Take a few soothing breaths here. Just allowing the gravity of the body to really connect you with the earth, relaxing into the earth. Feeling the depth of the breath in child pose. Just about 2 more breaths, really soothing the body and the mind with your breath cycles. And however you can best do so in a mindful way, we can all come onto our back. So perhaps beginning by sitting down to one side, letting the legs stretch out in front. If you want to build a little bit more core or engage your core muscles, you can lift the arms up like we did in one of the flows. And then as slowly as you can, come onto your backs. Moving in slow motion, settling one vertebra after another onto the ground. And then if you're ready, you can hug your knees into the chest. And we'll just rock from side to side a few rounds to massage the lower back. And when you're ready, you can keep your left knee hugged in, lacing the hands in front of the knees. Stretch your right leg all the way out, really pressing the right heel away from the body as you keep your left knee hugged in very gently. From here, we're going to stretch the sole of the left foot all the way up towards the ceiling, so straightening the left knee. You can lace your hands together behind the upper leg, and then really feel the sole of the feet pressing upwards towards the sky. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can move your hands down towards the foot. Lift your torso and your head off the ground, maybe holding on either side of the lower leg or the ankle, and then really drawing the knee in towards the forehead as you keep lifting your head off the ground, aiming the knee and the head towards one another. Wherever you are, just adding your breath to the stretch. And then gently release your torso back down, bend into the left knee, hug the knee into the chest, just hugging it with your right hand this time. Relaxing your left arm out to the side, onto the floor. Take another deep in-breath here, guiding the knee closer to the heart. And then exhale, slowly guiding the left knee over to the right side, coming into a twist, lying down. As you're reaching your maximum twist, you can then turn your head over to the left. And maybe taking the deepest breaths of the day for this practice. Each time you breathe out, the shoulders can connect a little bit more fully into the space behind you, below you. Just taking with a sense of delight that you can breathe in all these different shapes that you've moved your body into this afternoon for the practice. Just a sense of gratitude for how you can move the body and how it can still move and twist and stretch. Very gently guide your torso back to the center, your knees back. Take your hands and just hug the knees in towards the chest. And we'll just keep our right knee hugged in as we stretch our left foot all the way out, our left leg, really pressing the left heel away from the body forward, really straightening the left leg all the way out. And then we're going to stretch the sole of the right foot up so that there's no more bend in the right knee, placing the hands behind your thigh, maybe relaxing the shoulders a little bit more. And then if you did so on the other side, walking the hands downwards towards the foot, lifting the torso, lifting the head, holding on to the lower leg or ankles, and then really aiming the knee for the forehead and the forehead for the knee. Breathing into the shape. all the way throughout the body. Two more breaths. Gently bending into the right knee, placing the torso back onto the ground, holding onto the right knee with the left hand, relaxing the right arm out to the side, and then gently guiding the right knee over to the left into our final twist, turning the head over to the right, softening the shoulders down and back of you. Just enjoying this twist, enjoying the spine, enjoying the shape of the body, enjoying the breath. And very slowly coming back to center, hugging both knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And if you feel like it, maybe taking a happy baby pose before we come into Shavasana, holding onto the inside or outside of the feet with the hands, letting the feet move away from the body, relaxing the shoulders, pressing the hands into the feet and the feet into the hands to deepen into your happy baby. Maybe it wants to rock from side to side. We'll hug the knees into the chest one final time. Take your torso off the ground as you breathe in deeply. Maybe having the forehead and the knees connect, holding the breath in as long as you can. As you come into a little ball, tightening all the muscles in the body from the face all the way down into the feet. Tight, 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 tight. And then when you can't hold your breath in anymore, just release into Shavasana, into your final resting pose. And taking a moment to set yourself up in Shavasana so that you can really come into a space of stillness in the body. Feeling the whole back body softening. Allowing any remaining tension to leave the body. Softening the eyes and facial muscles again. Through the chest and the back. Your belly and your hips. Upper legs and lower legs. Arms and hands. All the way into your feet. The whole body in a state of deeper relaxation now. Allowing the whole body to absorb all the benefits of this yoga practice this afternoon. And you can rest your mind softly on the sensations of breathing. Maybe taking a moment to notice where it's most easy for you to connect with your breathing cycle. Perhaps the rise and fall of the belly or chest. The air as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Or maybe the sense that the whole body is breathing. Wherever it is, just resting the mind on the body in this way.
on the breath, coming into complete stillness for the next couple of minutes. Just resting. Just taking a moment to notice how you feel after the practice. And then begin to slowly deepen your breath again, drawing in the life force once more, opening and stretching the body on the in-breath, and still relaxing a little bit more deeply with the out-breaths. You can hug your knees into the chest and gently rock from side to side one last time. When you're ready, bringing the feet together and the hands and rubbing them together, creating some heat in the body, slowly wakening up. And then turn yourself over to one side, coming into a fetal position. One final moment of rest before the afternoon activities. And just knowing that you can always come back to a place of soothing your internal self just by being with your breath cycle for a few rounds when it feels really stressful in your life. Just tuning into your breath, letting go with the out breaths. And as you're ready, please press into one hand, lift yourself back up, coming into a seated posture the way that we started. Any posture that works for you seated. And we'll just bring the hands to touch in front in Namaste, maybe lowering the chin down and just recognizing your own goodness from within for a moment, your own diligence that you bring to the practice every week, and just the goodness of taking care of yourself in these ways with your practice that you have committed to, most of you for so many years already. And also the joy and the beauty for practicing in community and how much easier it is to practice in this way. So thank you so much for your practice. I hope to see you again next Thursday. Have a lovely afternoon. It's always really good to see you. Namaste. Thank you.